This is the Infinity Summit Group. Truth, passion, success.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another Infinity Summit Group podcast. Today is Monday, January 17th, 2022. I'm Jesse.
Logan.
Xavier.
Noah.
All right, and today we're going to be talking about parallel economies.
Yeah. So, first of all, what is a parallel economy?
Basically, well, at least the way that I've seen it, or had it described, is like when you have a political party, like the Democrats and Republicans, it would be like the Republicans getting shunned, so they do their own thing, and then it kind of like diverges, and then you get the same companies, or two different companies doing the same thing, and then...
Okay, so where it's like you've got your, we'll say Costco, and that for the Republicans or Democrats, and then someone else goes and makes a different Costco for the other party.
Yeah, and then basically you get two different economies, but Republicans only buy from Republicans, Democrats from Democrats.
Wouldn't the whole criminal underground be like a parallel economy? Because they're kind of like mostly using cash. They're kind of buying from each other. They're not paying taxes.
Yeah, so we've got multiple parallel economies in the U.S. even today. So we've got our mainstream economy where everyone pays taxes. You go to the store, you get your income, you pay your income tax. You go to the store, you pay your sales tax, gas, all that jazz. And that goes back to the government. It's all regulated by the IRS and everything. And then another one is all your under-the-table dealings. So all your cash transactions, things like that aren't kept track of by the IRS. That's going to be another parallel economy. And then you've got like your black market, your online black market, where similarly people will pay like cash and stuff, or transactions that can't be tracked.
eBay and stuff.
eBay,
Do you
I
pay
think.
tax on eBay?
Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't sure.
I think so. Zave would know better. Do you pay tax on eBay? Not you personally, but like, do you normally pay tax on eBay?
I don't think so, because I sold and bought from it, but I never paid any taxes. It's just shipping.
Okay, I guess if you were to make a business out of it, then you'd have to pay taxes, and that's where it'd be tracked. But
a lot of people do that. They'll have like I don't know if they do it. It's not very heavy anymore, but like eBay used to be a huge big thing. And a lot of people would have their businesses on there. You'd see it, and I'm sure you'd have to pay taxes.
okay.
They'd figure it out.
Yeah, IRS will sniff you out.
Yep.
Technically, each state would be a parallel economy, right? Like even from California to Utah with their different laws.
Sort of. So more like each state is its own economy, and they all report to their own governments, and then they all report to the federal government. And so where you're going to have your parallel economies come in is like if there's a business that's operated in Utah but is founded in Florida, then they're taking revenue from Utah to be founded in Florida. And a lot of companies do this. They'll found their companies in different states because they've got better tax laws, but that's taking that tax revenue away from that particular state that they actually operate in.
Right.
So it's it's not bad. They still pay taxes and stuff, but it's just for a different state than they operate in. So that would be a parallel economy in that sense.
That's cheaper. That's smarter in my opinion.
Yeah, that's why you hear about these people doing offshore stuff, and why you've got all your major brands like Nike and stuff over in China, yet they ship to the U.S. and that's how they can make a lot more revenue because the tax laws there, like even the what are they called, where there's a extra tax on imports and stuff.
I know what you're talking about, but...
Yeah, sanctions.
Yeah.
Yeah, sanctions and things like that. Even with all that, they're still making more money than if they were incorporated in the United States. So, yes, that's all parallel economies, and really where you're going to see parallel economies, and like Jesse said, the most explicit way to view it is parallel political parties. So like you've got Germany, Nazi Germany. What started happening when the Germans or the Jews couldn't buy stuff from the Germans or decided to not buy stuff from the Germans because they were being oppressed, then they started making their own stuff and creating a different economy that way.
So they're not a bad thing. They're good overall.
Not for the government, because a lot of times the tax revenues and stuff aren't finding their way back to the government with the parallel economy.
Yeah, it probably gets all janky.
Yep. So, like if we were to have two separate political parties that started dividing and conquering, we'll say, such as Republicans and Democrats, then you'd have some of those people. You might have it so bad where your government starts dividing. We already have Republican and Democrat divisions in the government here, but once they start supporting and creating tax laws and stuff that are separate, that's when it's going to get weird.
Yeah, who gets taxed on your political party.
Yeah.
Start getting funky.
You couldn't do that, could you?
Oh, they certainly could find a way.
Like if you were a Republican, you'd pay more taxes.
Oh, they'd just make you get an app or something, and you register. If you're not registered, you pay more probably.
They're doing that with COVID. They're charging people taxes, not here in the United States yet, but they're actually charging people in different countries. They're charging people taxes if they're unvaccinated. It's called the unvaccinated tax.
Is that what? Where?
It was.
Isn't that in Canada?
I don't remember if it was Canada. Hold on. I will find out where exactly it is. But I was listening to a thing today, and it was like,
Regardless,
was talking about it.
Australia's probably not far behind if it's not them.
Dude, Utah's following suit. Did you see how is one of the groups in Utah called for the National Guard to keep the unvaccinated locked in their houses?
Yes, I did see that.
Excuse me?
Quebec. So, yeah, it is Canada. Quebec has an unvaccinated tax. So they'll start taxing people who don't get the vaccination, which is freaking
Just
insane.
Don't pay the tax.
You could, but then you'd be liable for tax fraud or tax evasion, excuse me. And that
They
comes
don't
with
have
its
enough
own
people
set
that
of
aren't
shit.
doing their shit, huh? Because like in the U.S. it'd be hard because it's like not half the population, but a good portion of people.
It's a very good portion, yeah.
You couldn't. I mean, they sure would try, but I just don't think they'd get it.
Yeah, I think there was like 49% of people got the first shot in the U.S., and then it was significantly less percentage got the second shot, and a significantly less got the third shot.
Yeah,
It's just like, yeah, people are getting done with it.
it just
yeah.
wouldn't last.
Talked to a lot of people that got their first shot, and then the second, and they're like, we have masks back. Like, we got the vaccine, so we wouldn't have to wear masks. Now we're wearing masks again. I'm not getting the next one. Like, this is bullshit. Oh, you're finally waking up.
Yeah.
I
Welcome.
see.
I saw a thing today. It said, "What's the difference between a conspiracy theory and the truth?"
Time.
And it said, "These days it's about 3 months."
Just give
True.
everything 3 months to decide.
Yeah, it's very interesting, but I could definitely see that creating a parallel economy
Oh, absolutely.
because you've got your vax and unvaccinated people. Unvaccinated people are going to start frequenting shops that don't require
I think
masks.
It's already done it pretty heavy.
Yeah,
Stopped going to a lot of stores.
yeah, people are stopping going to stores that require masks or that will enforce it because there's a lot of people that that say mask required, and I've walked into plenty of them and they don't say shit. And
Yeah.
okay, sweet.
If they say something, I just leave.
Yeah, just walk
100%.
out, easy.
That would be crazy if it got to the point where there was literally like an underground, like not unvaccinated, but people that won't wear masks, and then the rest of the world. Do you think it would be like a split, or do you think it would be like majority of people would still be wearing the masks?
I think majority would not wear masks.
Do you think so?
Not the second time around. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
Yeah,
Mhm.
fair enough.
So, yeah, I think people are starting to wake up and they're like, let's not do this.
This isn't fun anymore.
Yeah, exactly. So,
So how would that create a parallel economy?
so stores that require like New York, a lot of the places are requiring proof of vaccination before you can go there.
Yeah.
So you start seeing that throughout the U.S. at different shops, these big companies. You may start seeing that, and then, bam, bam, bam. Unvaccinated, don't go to those stores. You have two separate economies, and it wouldn't be a parallel economy in the sense that the government isn't seeing revenue. They're still going to be seeing the revenue, but you're going to see a separation in the economy.
Which you've already started seeing. There's a lot of people that I know have already got laid off because their jobs aren't making any money because they require masks. Nobody will go to them.
Yep.
So it literally shut down.
Sorry to those individuals, but hell yeah.
Yeah. Sucks, dude.
That's all I can say. Sucks to suck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had some person tell me like a week ago if their company requires masks for like over the due date. I think it was like what, February
7th or something?
February 7th.
Oh, the
if
30,
they go over
30 days to mask up or something?
Yeah, then they're just going to quit. Which is happening everywhere.
That happened a lot with vaccinations, and now it's going to happen with masks, too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Luckily, the Supreme Court shut that down,
Yeah.
Joe Biden
In a way.
is still encouraging the companies.
which is insane.
Yeah, he's still like, companies, even though the Supreme Court decided I don't have ruling over this, you guys still require vaccinations. It's the good thing. You know, it's the right thing to do.
How is that even legal?
It's
Well, I guess
What?
freedom of
Suggestion.
speech.
yeah, it's
First
his freedom of
Amendment, but-
speech and people's freedom of choice, but
That's a lot of power in
yeah.
his words.
Well, he keeps going, like, no matter what the Supreme Court says, he'll just keep doing his own shit.
Well, who's
Yeah.
listening to him anyway?
Millions of Americans.
Yep.
Big companies.
Everyone that's all masked up, yeah.
Big companies, they have to follow the trends of the government because that's where the money lies. A lot of times.
Well, yeah, but it seems like it's going away from that. Like, not really the trend of the government, but the trend of, like, what people actually care about.
The trend of large companies and censorship and all that.
Yeah, because that happened when, like, the majority of people started thinking a certain way, or, like, the loud people. And so everybody started, you know, with the whole
Mm-hmm.
black thing with, like, Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
Oh, the Black Lives Matter
Yeah,
stuff.
Black Lives Matter stuff. Like,
Get
you don't
woke,
really see
go
that
broke.
as much anymore.
That's true.
It did die down really quick after the riots.
Yep.
Like, immediately. It was like, oh, nothing to do
Yeah,
with
there
it.
was George Floyd spike, and then riots was like, never mind.
Mhm.
That is not something we support.
So even different countries, could that create a different parallel economy? Like, obviously, we're already parallel economies, but
Mhm.
how much would that actually affect us? Does that
With-
make any sense?
With different countries doing what now?
With their economies and our economies. Because we're obviously already parallel. We're not going to be running the same at all.
Right, but everything is intertwined. So as you see, like a ton of countries outside the U.S. that are having like more controlling lockdowns and things like that are seeing a lot of protests and crazy stuff like that where people are going outside their homes like, nah, screw this,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. But they get people trying to leave, too. Like, people wanting to go to countries that don't require anything. Like,
I say great.
I wonder
let
if
the whole world rebalance.
yeah.
if there was a parallel economy, like the Republicans and the Democrats, if they started a war, that would make you all under one economy. Like, that war brings everyone together, always.
Civil War?
Civil War, war with Russia, war with China, any of them.
Well, Civil War wouldn't bring us together.
After.
After,
Depends on who
maybe,
won.
but it would rock our country for, like, the next 50.
Depends how
Be a
you
long
won,
time.
too.
Mm-hmm.
With our Civil War, Lincoln was like, no, forgive them. You know, we're all still one country. Forgive them their indiscretions, whatever. And we're still the United States of America, which is a badass move, by the way. That's sick.
Yeah.
I don't know if that would happen these days.
No.
Civil War might last a little bit longer if we had one. I don't think we will. It's just, yeah.
There already is a Civil War to a point. It's just not a hot Civil War. Which
Yeah.
that means where you're shooting at each other, like live round.
Yeah, it's technological Civil War right now.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
information.
Information Civil War, yeah. Happening on all the major platforms. That's why you're getting this crazy censorship and things like that. And even that in and of itself is creating a parallel economy because you've got these
Yeah.
other tech companies popping up, like Parler, even though they got shut down hard. You've got Rumble, you've got Local. There's a bunch of other
Gab and
Minds,
Getter,
Gab,
Minds.
Getter. There's a ton of other tech companies that are popping up. But I honestly wonder if they're going to end up going the same. If you're that big of a company and you're getting funding, who's giving you the money? That's where you're going to have to go. That's the way you're gonna have to go as a company.
You know, Tim Pool
Yeah.
talks about this, or at least Ian does, like freeing the source code or something.
I don't know
Where-
what he's on about with that,
But I think it just makes it so everyone can make their own platform in like a minute.
I like how he mentions.
And then
Ian
you
always
don't- you're not-
mentions decentralized,
Mm-hmm.
which is great.
What's the source code? What's that
Just
all about?
like you'll just have like a program. You know, on a website you can make one in like a minute now.
Yeah.
Now he just wants it so you could make your own social media site in a minute, like your own Facebook that quick, and then you can't get shut off your own platform.
That would be sick.
And then the idea, I think, what they're doing is they make it so you make your own, but it'll link to like Facebook and Twitter, so you post it on your own social media, and then it'll post your post on the other two social medias. So even if the other two get shut down, you still have your own stuff.
Yeah, but that's still linked to them, though.
Yeah, but you don't need it.
But you have your own, and so
So people could still
Yeah,
come to your
links
page.
there, but they
Okay.
can come over to you.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Which is, I think, genius. Decentralize all of it, because then, if the way Ian talks, though, I'm not so sure. Like,
I like Ian.
and Tim Pool and stuff, they're like, they're about certain socialistic programs that I'm not sure I
Yeah.
agree with. Like, yeah, they're just
They're pretty socialist, but
yes. But I like a lot of the stuff they say, such as he's saying free the code and decentralizing every platform, because that way, if everybody has their own platform, when everyone's super,
Mhm.
no one will be,
That's facts.
Mhm.
Hashtag Incredibles.
Yes.
So I think that's a good idea, and the way he's saying it, how you create your own crypto that goes along with your website,
yeah.
it's kind of a cool idea, as long as the crypto's decentralized. The way he was saying, like, because he's a co-founder of Minds, right? And so what he did is they have an account, instead of creating a crypto where the creator is the majority stakeholder in that crypto. He created an account that's separate, nobody has access to, that automatically releases like 10,000 coins a day up until the maximum amount of coins are released, And so it's not, the power is not in the hands of anyone. It's not a Ponzi scheme. It's not like a rug pull or anything. It's like he created his own thing, but it's decentralized because those coins go out to the people of the platform. And the way they do it, the jury system on those things is genius.
Yeah, it's way
Implement
cool.
that for Facebook, Instagram, everything. So
What's-
what they do is if a post is flagged, someone reports it, right? That post gets sent to other people who are on the platform who volunteer to be a jury member, and I think they only have like 12 jurors or something at a time.
I'm not really
Something
sure.
like that. It's not very many jurors, but you could do this on a much larger scale on Facebook. So what they do is the jury members who volunteered for this vote whether that post is against the guidelines or not. If it's against the guidelines, the majority of people vote for it against the guidelines, it's out. But that person who had that post can appeal it 3 separate times and get it in front of 3 separate juries. And then once it's shot down 3 times, they can actually appeal to the admins and have that shut down that way,
Huh.
or brought back.
Is this on Facebook?
No, this is on Minds.
Oh, okay.
Facebook, if they did it this way, then we would have a lot less censorship.
I was going to say Facebook does not seem like the type of
Yeah,
thing to do
'cause
that.
with Facebook, you could have a jury of 1,000 people or 10,000 people who vote on this post. Yes, that's against the guidelines, or no, that doesn't violate guidelines. Good to go. Yeah, with Minds, it's a lot smaller group, but Facebook, you could have a jury of 10,000 people, and it wouldn't be stretched at all.
Yeah.
How much did Minds grow? Is it even like significantly bigger than it was when we first
Not
kind of
sure.
heard about it?
I don't know.
really hear
I don't
about
know.
it.
I think more it's like a Rumble that's taking the cake, starting to grow big.
And
But-
Getter too, because that's what Joe Rogan hopped over to.
Yeah, get her.
I think it's like a Twitter, but
Oh, okay.
I think when he hopped over, they got like 100,000 people sign up within a couple hours.
Shit.
Wasn't it 500K within a day?
I'm not sure. I just seen it was a lot.
That
Yeah,
makes sense.
either way.
100K in a few hours, 500K in a day.
Well, that's a big deal with Joe Rogan. I mean, people are going to go where Joe Rogan goes.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan's like the shining light of the world right now.
He's doing good.
He's seriously, he's unvaxxed. He's not promoting the vaccinations. He's like, nah, do your research. Look into it before you start doing this crazy stuff. And he's like rescheduling events so that unvaxxed people can go to them, like tons of stuff. Because he's like, basically from what I understand, his view is, it has to be your choice, and you shouldn't be forced to get anything when it has to do with your body.
Joe Rogan commits suicide.
Yeah. Yep, he's gonna get suicided. Oh, that would be so shitty.
That would be shitty.
But
I
that
don't
would
think people would handle that. They'd be
that
like,
would
"What the
raise
fuck?"
some red flags. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be a national emergency.
People
Yeah.
riot over just that.
They're
That
ha-
actually
probably
would not
would.
surprise me.
They're having
They would.
I think a mandate, like a vaccine mandate march at Washington D.C. I don't remember when.
They want? They're marching for vaccines?
No.
Against them.
Against them. Choice, pro-choice, but in the vaccine sense.
Bodily autonomy.
Yes, bodily autonomy. Exactly. So, that's going to be happening soon. I don't know when, but rumor has it it's happening. Just because I'm not going to it. It's DC.
I don't get the point of those. It doesn't do
No.
shit.
No, what you really need to do is do that stuff on a local level. So have a bunch of people from Utah march on the Capitol, peacefully protest,
Yeah.
be like, don't you ever tell us what to do with our bodies.
You ever say to put on a mask again and I'll shoot you? Just kidding.
I mean,
Peaceful.
we don't
Peaceful
in-
protest.
don't
That's
incite
peaceful.
violence. But
That was the new mayor. We just got a new mayor, I think, in Park City, and she was saying, "Oh yeah, we're not doing any more mask mandates." Like, that's why everybody voted for it.
and then another 30 days to slow the curve. Yeah.
Yeah, and then she just completely lied through her teeth, and we're all just like, "What the hell?" All right, kind of saw that coming.
Yeah, it sucks.
But
Bet it makes a lot of people regret voting for people, though. Yeah.
well, do we have midterms coming up this year, I think?
In September.
Yeah.
Yeah. And midterms are where we vote for like congressmen and stuff, right?
Yeah, so like Mitt Romney and all that. I'm pretty
No,
sure.
Mitt Romney is kind of wild. We just
Oh,
barely
really?
re-elected him. I think he's got 6 years.
Fuck.
Oh,
That's
Is it-
exactly how I feel.
is it even governors?
I think governor's 4, and midterms is senators or congressmen, one or the other.
Okay.
One's every 2 years, the other's 6.
One way or another, I just signed a petition for to require in Salt Lake County to require voter ID and to not have mail-in ballots unless you request it and you have your ID and everything. They make sure that that's the person it's going to, and the ballots are going to be counted by hand instead of by machines. So
I like it.
By hand's the strat.
yeah, it's kind of, I mean, people can still fudge the numbers, but you're going to have a lot less because you're going to have volunteers doing it instead of machines. You don't know what their code is or anything.
Yeah, and they can be hacked.
Yes.
Way easy.
So
Do we
yeah.
have those issues in Utah though?
I don't know.
Let's be honest.
I don't
No,
know.
let's
But at the
stop it
same
before it
time-
can, if we can.
Right. If there is any issues with the machines or with whatever's going on with the mail-in ballots, all that, then yeah, let's try to stop it before it becomes an issue, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So that should be a good petition. But yeah, back to our parallel economies with vaxxed versus unvaxxed. I think that's going to be a real big thing this year and going into next year even. Because people are going to be, like I said, we're going to see more places that require proof of vaccination.
Oh,
I
absolutely.
can guarantee it.
Yeah.
And so, especially as these new variants, new variant just dropped. Yeah.
Get the booster shot, bro.
Yeah. As we see these new variants come out, because there's going to be one after Omicron, It's going to be Devicron or some shit. I
They've
don't know.
already kind of mentioned it. It was like a mix of Delta and Omicron.
Yeah.
Oh.
Stupid.
We talked about that last
Domicron.
podcast. It's like I think it really is Deltacron or some shit.
Decepticon.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, obviously it's a sickness. We don't want anyone ill, but at the same time, I haven't been seeing a lot of proof that the vaccine actually works.
There's no proof of it.
I've got half of my school out with COVID, and most of them are vaccinated. It's like,
Yeah. I think they
What?
came out and said, like, it's not a question. You're going to get it.
Yeah.
Whether you're vaccinated or not, like, you're going to get
Which
you're
is-
gonna get sick.
It's good because it's going to create natural immunity for everybody.
it's almost like it was engineered to be caught by humans. Gain of function.
Yep.
No, it wasn't gain of function. We just were testing it to make sure that it could be spreadable to humans. Oh yeah, that's gain of function.
Science.
Is that what gain of function is?
Yeah.
Yeah, gain of function is basically where they engineer it to be more spreadable to certain.
Makes them gain
organisms.
functions.
Yeah, makes them gain functions, and in this case, gain function to spread to humans.
They did a real shitty job out of it, though, because it doesn't even make you sick.
Killed a lot of people for a minute.
Yeah, the old people, but that's because they would send young people with COVID right into the.
The old people homes, yeah.
Exactly.
Well, I still think they said the CDC director came out and said the numbers for deaths are inflated by like 40%.
Yeah. Did you hear? I think it's in 2027. This is completely off topic, but they're going to release all the Martin Luther King Jr. Documents and videos and everything. Because some of the stuff, he was not a very good guy. Like,
Oh,
he
really?
watched
Yeah.
his friend rape a girl and was giving points and stuff.
What?
Uh-huh.
He was pretty sleep around and everything too.
Orgies, everything.
What?
Inciting violence, riots.
Now hold on,
Martin
hold
Luther King
the
Jr.?
fuck on.
Yeah, the guy who said, I have a dream.
Yeah.
Hold on. My question is that going to be legit, or is it a smear campaign
No.
to
I
take
f-
him down? Because I like a lot of his messages that he gave out.
He has very good messages, but it is a
I've
legit
heard about
thing.
it for years.
Hmm.
That he's not a good dude. He just had some good things to say.
Look, I have my wonders, but that'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, I think it's 2027. And there is documents
Why so
all
long?
over about that.
Yeah, I was like, that's a long time to wait.
Who knows why they keeping the information about the vaccines for so long?
Yeah, 8 months.
Because they don't want people to know.
They asked, for 65 years, and the judge said, no, you have 8 months.
I love it.
Yep.
It's funny, but it will. Yeah, we'll definitely be seeing more parallel economies, and especially like seeing that they're going to start charging, or the IRS is going to start tracking like your Cash Apps, your Venmos, PayPals, things like that.
Yeah.
If you are sending those things to people, make sure you label it gift. Don't label it
Yep.
anything else, because you can receive up to $10,000 in gifts in a given year and not be taxed on them. So make sure you label all your Cash Apps and Venmos and everything gift.
Whoa, they're going to start tracking it?
The
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
IRS,
Come out.
Mhm.
huh?
When did that come out?
Like last week, wasn't it?
Recently, that they're going to start tracking it as of this year. So, yeah, so
That's
be careful.
insane. Yeah.
And I mean,
Start-
obviously, if you're running a
start trading
business off
coins.
of it, then obviously you don't want to have any tax evasion or anything. But if you're like Cash Apping your friends for food or whatever, if you get more than $600 Cash App to you in a year, then they're going to send you a tax form. So,
Everyone's going to get real generous real quick.
yeah, exactly.
Start trading in cryptos.
But
Here, I'll give you
even
2
that,
coins for buying me.
like all your
lunch.
major exchanges are going to be giving you tax forms,
Ridiculous.
because they've
Okay.
gotten in trouble with the IRS and the SEC, a lot of them who weren't doing that. And so just keep your coins in your wallet, stake them, whatever.
If they do that, then it's like, dude, just make the fucking taxes understandable. Make it so we can all understand how to do our taxes.
Yeah, good luck. I have that as one of our topics, actually. What's the best like company to use for filing taxes
Oh, okay.
that
Nice.
we need to research into and do that before tax season? I think that'd be good.
I think that would be good.
But yeah, it'll be Gucci.
Mm-hmm.
So the like cryptos and stuff, the whole worry about those when they first came out was like, oh, this is going to be black market money. That's all it's going to be used for. And so it was hard to get anyone to jump on that bandwagon. And now you have all these big companies that are investing in cryptocurrencies and things like that, who actively file with the IRS And so they're still finding out their definitions and trying to, we'll say, box that in, and try to regulate it. It's just such a big economy. You know what it reminds me of was back when we had like the Revolutionary War. There was a ton of currencies out there that everyone was minting. Every state, every city had their own currency, just minting the shit out of it. And you know, you have inflation, you had booms and busts in these local economies, and then the government actually outlawed all but the U.S. currency. And so I halfway wonder if that will happen with cryptocurrency.
Wouldn't be surprised at all.
No,
Outlaw it.
Outlaw everything but,
Mm.
you know?
Then they would just make their own crypto.
Right. Or
USD
they've got
coin or
cryptos.
something?
Yeah, you have USDC coin.
Mm.
Teller, things like that. Not Teller. Tether. Thank you. They've got a couple of these coins that follow the dollar almost exactly. So I wouldn't be surprised if everything else got outlawed.
It's not going to stop people, though.
It won't.
VPNs and all that stuff.
And it hasn't stopped people in other countries.
Yeah, they tried doing it in China, and it went up like they did it a shit ton more. They're like, F you.
It's because you can't
Yeah.
track it.
Mm.
You know, it's almost impossible to track because it's all blockchain. It's all decentralized, things like that. That's why the governments don't like it, because it's a parallel economy. They're losing revenue on it
I mean,
in
that's
their own minds.
like Bitcoin and them. They're not made to be tracked, but they have ones that are like specifically made that you cannot do. I mean, it's all anonymous.
Yeah, what's that one?
the one-
Murano?
Yeah, the
Think?
one they use for all the pirates and shiz. Use
Yeah. They use certain cryptocurrencies that can't be tracked.
So I wonder with the big companies like iPhone and Tesla and all that, where they have kids in other countries working for like cheap labor, that's a parallel economy. So how is the government allowing that? Because then they're
Well, they
losing out
still-
on money as well.
They still pay taxes on the sanctions as they import their goods. They pay taxes on
Sales tax.
sales tax. Yeah. They pay taxes on any revenue gains. Like Elon Musk paid a massive tax bill
Yeah.
just recently because of his gains in Tesla. They're still seeing the revenue from it. It's just that the company found a way to operate and keep their cost basis lower. That's what happened. So they're not losing out on anything necessarily. They're just not seeing the
Might be
production.
getting more even because they got to ship it over, and if it was in the U.S., they wouldn't have to ship it.
Yeah, the government might be seeing more revenue because of that, but it makes sense for the company because it's so much cheaper outside of the U.S. to make that the numbers just make sense for them.
Whoa. I didn't know that.
Yeah. I don't
So
know
many
what the numbers
loopholes.
are,
Yeah.
but speaking of updates on cryptos and big companies, Tesla just started accepting Dogecoin for a couple items,
What?
No, really?
including a small little like motorcycle for kids. It was like 13,000 Doge or 12,000 Doge, something like that. And rumor has it that they were sold out before they started accepting Doge for them. So
Not surprised.
Dude, a Tesla motorcycle? Could you imagine?
it goes
Tim
like
Pool talks
10
about
miles an
having one.
hour.
Yeah, but a motorcycle.
yeah.
Like
Motorcycle.
an actual
Yeah.
motorcycle.
Sick.
That would be
Tim Pool
exquisite.
talks about having an electric motorcycle, so it's just dead quiet. Can't hear anything.
Which makes it even more dangerous.
Yeah.
Sweet.
I want one.
Yeah,
Sick.
I want one. I need it.
That is sick. The Cybertrucks look like they're going to be pretty cool too.
I want one.
They look so
Those-
ugly.
Those start
I want
coming
one.
out.
You
I
want
like it.
one?
I like it.
I like the look of it. I think it
Uh-huh.
looks sick.
What the hickory
I'd
fuck is
buy
going
one.
on here? They're
I
so
don't like
ugly.
the look either, brother.
I'll go get a Dodge. or
I'd buy one
something.
if I had the money.
Really? All
Straight
right.
up.
They're so cool.
Interesting.
I think the cars look sick.
I still don't want an electric car until it can charge as fast as my gas.
Yeah, that is the big issue.
I would do a
Takes way too
hybrid
long.
and a heartbeat because you get such good mileage. If you just
Yeah.
charge it at home, or if you can do either or, like electric or gas engine, I'd be so down for that.
Is that where it switches between electric and gas?
Correct.
The hybrid, yeah.
Yeah, well, the hybrid uses kind of both. Yeah,
Okay.
and a lot of them get like 70 mpgs.
Damn.
It's like really good.
It's a Prius.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. I thought about buying a Prius so I could save more money for other things.
Yeah.
Too
But-
bad they're shitty ass cars.
Yeah.
Hybrids are too. Every hybrid that I've seen people own, it's always in the shop getting fixed up.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
Okay. It's good to know because was seriously considering for my next car.
Yeah, I would just stick to Tesla
Or
or
reliable.
gas. Yeah.
Well, even Tesla, every 10 years you got to replace your battery packs, which is like
Yeah.
20 grand.
Mm-hmm.
Half the value of the car.
Really?
Yeah, by that point it's going to be worth more than the car
Mm-hmm.
to replace the batteries. So
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
we'll see. Another 5-10 years down the road, we'll see how good Tesla's doing.
Probably way better.
Yeah, they will be, but
Just
at
gotta
the
see
same
where-
time, you're going to start seeing those battery packs needing replacing.
Yeah.
Well, until everybody starts doing electric cars, and then they make it cheaper because.
They're making a shit ton of them.
Yeah.
Or they make better batteries.
Well, no, they'll
Yeah.
have what's that word? I can't even think of it. Competition.
Yeah.
They're gonna have to
Yeah.
drop their prices.
They're having a lot of competition, but Tesla is still by and large the most massive electric car company out there. Like most electric car companies right now are valued like the major ones that are on the stock market. We'll say a lot of them are valued between 40 and 60 billion approximately. Tesla's like, let me check. 2 seconds.
At
It's
least
a
a
lot.
trillion. I
Yeah.
thought it was a trillion at least.
They hit 2 trillion at one point, I believe. Just insane.
People just buy them for the speed, though.
Uh-huh.
So
Which is nice. The
if a-
pickup's sick.
Yeah, but if they can get a gas car like that, that's
So-
affordable to everyone. Everyone's gonna switch back in a jiffy.
Okay, so yeah, their market cap was not 2 trillion. It's 1.05 trillion
Jeez.
versus these other companies that are
40 billion.
40 to 60 billion.
Just a
Other
lot.
electric car companies. It's absolutely overvalued. It's insane. But at the same time, it's got the hype behind it. I mean, I remember when their stock price was like $600, and now it's over 1,000. So
Which is, yeah, how?
I'm
People
just
like
sad I
Elon
didn't buy
Musk.
it.
Yeah.
I think that's really the big it. People like him.
Yeah, but like their price to earnings ratio is 340. A good healthy company, say like Ford, a car manufacturer, their PE ratio, I think right now, even in the overinflated market, let me check. Oh, it was very low. That's what I'm looking for. PE ratio of Ford is 35.
What's the PE ratio?
That's the price to earnings ratio. Basically, the way I understand it is if they were to pay off all their debts with what they're earning right now, it would take them that many years to pay off all their debts. So
Okay.
Tesla's 345.
Oh.
Ford is 25, or excuse me, 35.
Yeah.
And then you've got real good solid companies, not the car manufacturers. Just like these, like a company I'm in right now has a PE ratio of 4. So it's like, yeah.
You'd want it lower.
Mm-hmm.
You want it as low as possible, and that's considered a quote unquote blue chip stock or a solid company, like your Home Depots, your Lowe's, things like that. Nike I think was a little high, but all those other ones are a lot lower. Let me see what Home Depot is.
Yeah, so that just proves that Tesla is absolutely inflated to the hell.
So Home Depot's PE
Still.
ratio is 24.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of these blue chip companies, a good PE ratio is under 10, and a lot of them are overinflated to be in the 20s and 30s. But that's the blue chip stocks. The ones that have lesser PEs than that, like, yeah, they're probably doing pretty good.
Mm.
So, it's, yeah, we'll be seeing some shifts in the economy before long, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
It's gnarly.
That's true.
Yeah.
Mm.
Anything else about COVID? Parallel economies? Anything like that?
I
No.
don't think so.
Sick, boys. Feel good?
Feel good.
Sick.
Sweet.
Next week, we'll be talking with you guys about The Millionaire Fast Lane, the book we started reading last week. And then from there, we'll probably take the books out to every month because we're going to be probably start reading a little bit bigger books too. I've got like all the books on my list that I want to read are bigger.
Sweet.
So,
Word.
yeah.
Hell yeah.
Like it.
Okay. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. If you're on Spotify, what do they do? Like on Spotify. Give us a
so.
thumbs up.
Something like that.
Heart or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll see you guys next week. Thanks for joining us again.
Goodbye.
Peace out.
See you guys.